I'll start with something which is very basic, something which over the years which you alluded to, the market cycle. Doesn't matter where we are, it is important for us to identify the market cycle, and the market cycle will just come up on your screen. It starts after a crash, then it moves into recovery, boom, there is disbelief, and then there is crash. Where is this bull market if you have to talk about in terms of the market cycle?
So if you're showing the graphic, which is the source of it, of course, is the great Mark Faber, who used to show how this market goes through 5 or 6 phases. And we are, of course, in the phase where there's profit expansion going on. And we haven't yet created the story that this time is different and India will grow to the moon. Like you remember the 2000 to 2008 bull market, when BRICS had become the predominant theory and commodities and China had actually led that bull market. And if you remember the peak which then China made, it didn't then recover from that for the next 14 years. And it's consistent with what has happened with every bubble in the past decades. From the 60s when the US had their Nifty 50, the Kodaks and the Xeroxes and all of that. In the 70s it went to gold, silver, oil markets, which peaked in 1980. In the 80s it went to Japan and Taiwan, and it took 30 years for Japan to come back from there. In the 90s it went to the Nasdaq. 2000 to 2008, as I said, was BRICS and commodities. The last decade clearly has belonged back to technology and FANGs. And it is a hypothesis that India, emerging markets and hard assets will be back big time. And I've been saying this for a while that we will see a melt up in India sometime this decade. But that story is not yet so popular. And I hope we don't get the melt up, because you don't want to make all your money in 2 years and then repent for the next 10. So the supply response which is coming, the regulatory response which is coming, keeping kind of this market cooled off, is preventing that kind of euphoric bubble being formed, which I think on balance is a good thing. So in the context of market cycles, I say profit expansion is there. The crazy multiple expansions which we've seen in a few sectors hasn't affected the entire market, because if you take the market quadrants of quartile 1, quartile 2, quartile 3, which comprise 25% of the market, the top 40 odd companies are about half of India's market cap, and you don't see a bubble there. You surely do see that in pockets. And again, it's because they had gone to sleep post 2008. What led this bull market? PSUs, capital goods, real estate, which post 2008 didn't do anything for 14, 15 years. So they're having their day in the sun. The market's already rotating back to the favorites of pharma, IT, financials, consumers. As the rotation takes place, you will then start seeing profit acceleration in the economy as well, and then new sectors leading this onward.
So just to get this cycle right, which is very important for us, you are of the view that there are excesses in the market, but there is no bubble or euphoria.
Yes, I don't think I can call the entire market a bubble. Like I said, if the top 40 companies are not trading at excessively crazy valuations, it's certainly there in pockets. Like we discovered, defense, railways, PSUs in capital goods, a lot of multinationals, to an extent where every multinational owner of the business across the world has come and sold in India. GE and Whirlpool from US have sold, BAT and Vodafone from UK have sold, Sumitomo from Japan has sold, Singtel from Singapore has sold, and now of course you have the Koreans who've discovered the magic mantra of getting 25 multiples for stocks which are in their home country trading at 5 multiples. So Hyundai has come, I assume Samsung will come, and also PE investors have encashed. I think in the last 6 months alone, $15 billion has gone back to promoters and private equity investors.
And I remember in 1999, Infosys, then that time Satyam went public because they wanted to raise capital in Nasdaq. Now it's the other way around. How the wheel has turned completely and beautifully in our favor.
Absolutely.